speaks, can I please request Mr. Dhawal Shah, the Senior Vice President of MRAI and also the President of the Non-Ferrous Division of BIR, to share his views on the future of Indian material recycling.
Thank you, Zain. Can I have my presentation, please? So, good morning. I think it's a great honor, great privilege for me today to be speaking in front of such powerful visionaries, luminaries from Government of India. Just hearing Gadkari sir, and I've always believed in one thing. बचपन से एक inspirational चीज़ मैं पढ़ता हूँ, dream, dare and deliver. तो चाहे वो सागरमाला प्रोजेक्ट हो, चाहे वो नेशनल हाईवेज का निर्माण हो, चाहे बायोफ्यूल्स की बात हो, चाहे इंडिया को ग्रीन हाइड्रोजन का वर्ल्ड कैपिटल बनाना हो, चाहे वो ईवी हो, चाहे वो ईएलवी पॉलिसी हो, गडकरी सर आपने सिखाया है, नथिंग इज इम्पॉसिबल. सो थैंक यू फॉर दैट. आज इस कॉन्फ्रेंस में भारत के तमाम रिसाइकलर्स, मटेरियल रिसाइकलर्स आए हुए हैं. आई थिंक ये कहना पड़ेगा मुझे कि अगर स्टील में इंडिया का स्टील आउटपुट देखें, अगर उसमें हम 35 से 40% का कंट्रीब्यूशन दे रहे हैं, अगर सारे नॉन फेरस को कंबाइंड अगर देखें, एवरेज आउटपुट जो इंडिया का है उसमें 35 से 40% का अगर आउटपुट दे रहे हैं, अगर हमारे प्रोडक्ट्स, इंटरमीडिएट प्रोडक्ट्स, इंगट्स, बिलेट्स, सेमी फिनिश प्रोडक्ट्स अगर चाइना, जापान, वियतनाम जैसे कंट्रीज़ को अगर एक्सपोर्ट हो रहा है, जो 5 साल पहले नहीं था या इतनी क्वांटिटी में, इतने परसेंटेज में नहीं था, तो उसका श्रेय सर आपकी मिनिस्ट्री को जाता है, आपको जाता है, बिकॉज आपने सिखाया है नथिंग इज इम्पॉसिबल. आपने काफ़ी इंस्पायरिंग बातें करी सर. आज हमारा साहस, आज हमारा विश्वास इतना ऊंचा है कि ये हम कमिटमेंट देते हैं कि बाय 2030 वी विल मेक our industry, our recycling industry, a global hub for materials recycling, and our materials, our products will be part of world supply chain, not only in India. So be it construction, be it automotive, be it like any engineering field, our products will be part of those supply chains, and that's our commitment to you by 2030. करट जी यहाँ पे है. सर यहाँ तकरीबन 1500 रिसाइकलर्स हैं, पर ये 1500 रिसाइकलर्स तकरीबन 25,000 माइक्रो स्मॉल स्केल यूनिट से जुड़ते हैं, जो मैं कहता हूँ कि सही तरीके में नट्स एंड बोल्ट्स ऑफ इंडियन मैन्युफैक्चरिंग है. तो हमारा ये विश्वास है, हमारी आपसे ये अपेक्षा है कि अगर इसको आगे बढ़ाइएगा तो कंट्री की मैन्युफैक्चरिंग को आगे बढ़ाइएगा. संजय भाई ने बात करी थी, काफ़ी सारे गवर्नमेंट ने बड़े बड़े इनिशिएटिव्स लिए हैं, स्टार्टअप इंडिया, डिजिटल इंडिया, इनक्रेडिबल इंडिया, खेलो इंडिया. एक हमारी गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया से आज एक दरख्वास्त है, एक हमारा प्रयास है, एक हमारा सपना है कि एक हम नया कैंपेन शुरू करें. मैं हमेशा बिलीव करता हूँ कि इंडियन रिसाइकलिंग इंडस्ट्री का जो है ना, एक आइडेंटिटी क्राइसिस है, एक परसेप्शन का इशू है, एंड वी मस्ट रिपेयर दिस, वी मस्ट फिक्स दिस. सो आवर सजेशन टुडे इज टू स्टार्ट, एक अभियान चालू करें हम. Can you move the slide? Recycle India. And this, we need to make it as a movement to every part of the society. Because when we recycle more, we positively impact environment, employment, and economics. जो हमेशा हम बात करते हैं, because in so many discussions over the last 2-3 years, internal, external, whole lot of things have resonated, like sustainability, circular economy. We walk the talk. So I think we need a campaign like this, along with all these big campaigns, Incredible India. We need something like Recycle India to give us the right position, to give us the right image. Because I think when the image is right, when the society moves forward with this, everything else will move forward. हमेशा हम बात करते हैं सोशियो इकोनॉमिक ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन की. करट सर आपके लिए ये पिक्चर जो आप देख रहे हैं स्क्रीन पे सर, ये मैंने 1-1.5 साल पहले ली हुई है। सिलवासा का एक मेटल रिसाइकलिंग प्लांट है, जिसमें तकरीबन 300-350 ट्राइबल विमेन, स्किल्ड ट्राइबल विमेन, दे कम एवरी डे टू वर्क to sort out those metals, just to tell you how deep that impact is as far as socio-economic transformation is concerned. You know, we always talk about India and what's happening globally. So today I wanted to touch upon some points as to what is the global scenario, what is happening into the materials or metals recycling arena, what's happening there. So some of the pointers here, I mean, I'm sure people are aware, but again, 2021 July was officially declared as the warmest month globally. Even recently, India broke a record, which we are not too proud of. We broke a record of 122 years, where March and April were declared as the warmest month. Recently, there's a study that by a credible agency to say that 9 coastal cities of India will be submerged. The oceans will swallow them by 2030 because the tide levels is going to be, because of the global warming, the tide level is going to increase. That includes city like Mumbai, where I come from, the financial capital of India. So it's an SOS everywhere. The governments are screaming that, okay, industry needs to do some mass movement, we need to stop this. And here is an industry that right from birth has been doing the things that you've been asking. So your support is required here to understand us better and to do better. So anyways, globally, let me talk about that there is no new capacity being added through mined resources for primary metal. And the question comes, why are countries walking away? Why are they minimizing output through, everybody needs metals, but why are we walking away from this mining route? I think this slide would say it all. Now, basically, this is a comparison in terms of the consumption resources and the emissions. And if one glance, a simple glance at this would tell you that in terms of resources, we are between 1/5 and 1/10. And in terms of emissions, it's equal, that our emissions are 1/5 to 1/10 of what the primary route does. Economic nationalism being adopted by countries across. Now, what I mean by that is that over the last 2 years, we've had like 15, 20 multi-million-dollar investments announced in the metals space, and even big mining companies, big metal-producing companies, whether it's Alcoa, Rio Tinto, EGA, all of them, Hydro, they all have announced new capacities to sort of, produce more metals. But where is that new metal coming from? None are going through the primary or the mining route. Every new investment has come through secondary route. Either it's greenfield project or either it's expansion of their current capacities, but everything happening through secondary route using scrap. Every country now wanting to reach their net zero commitments by 2050, what they have felt that using scrap for their metals output is the best way, the fastest way to get there. So it's, in some sense, if you see, everybody wants to now protect scrap. You see, today India, as we all know, is an importer of scrap. We are scrap deficient. Europe is one of the largest supplier to us. Almost about 30% of our appetite comes from Europe. Europe last year, in October, presented a deal, they call it the Green Deal, to their parliament to say, we don't need to export anymore. Non-OECD countries, if they need our scrap, they need to comply to European norms. Basically, the intent behind this, the spirit behind this, is to say that let's keep our scrap here, we'll need it for our future. I'm talking about government and societal awareness pushing for minimum recycled content in product design and production. What I mean is that today we've made our intentions very clear towards our commitment in space of renewable energy and initiatives like EVs and ELVs. But our story does not get completed unless and until we change our product design, our product manufacturing, and the way we look at recycled materials. And I would say, since Karatji is here, so countries like Belgium, Australia, they all have taken initiatives to ask for a minimum recycled content in their products. I think, sir, Government of India also should take that initiative, that any government procurement, if the quality, if the output, if the performance is matching, we must ask for a minimum recycled content into government procurement. So whether it is railways, metros, even I was talking to ISRI friends here, Robin, you were there, and I said that if you look at the EPA, Environmental Protection Agency documents, it's a government agency in the United States, they have recommended 60 products, and they are all from very critical application, automotive, building and construction, and they are saying that we need to use recycled materials here. So I think we as industry and government, we need to walk the talk together now. So as I said, this low carbon, last 2 years, every government meeting, internal, external, at World Platform and COP26, now 28 as well coming up, we're going to talk about sustainability, low carbon, low carbon. So what you call low carbon, we simply call it scrap. It's as simple as that. I've shown this slide because this is something where people kind of, relate to this. This is El Clasico between primary and secondary. सर हम छोटे लोग हैं, हमारे जो भी हमारा हुनर है उसमें हम विश्वास करते हैं, पर कहीं एक छोटी सी तकलीफ है, क्योंकि बार बार जो है कोई अगर एक ग्रुप या एक इंडस्ट्री ये कहे कि आप इसमें मिनिमम सेफगार्ड ड्यूटी लगा दीजिए, आप इसमें मिनिमम सेलिंग प्राइस कर दीजिए, इंपोर्ट ड्यूटी बढ़ा दीजिए, BIS लगा दीजिए, मॉनिटरिंग सिस्टम रखिए, तो थोड़ी सी हमें चिंता होती है कि बार बार ये चीज़ सामने क्यों उभर के आ रही है. हम हमारा काम कर रहे हैं, आप आपका काम कर रहे हैं, बट दिस इंटरवेंशन, व्हाई इज दैट हैपनिंग so constantly, so continuously? I think the genesis of this lies in the fact that today, if primary producers have increased their capacities by 40-50% over the last 5-6 years, today they want to divert their export tonnages into India. And the reason why they want to do it, sir, is because today you've given them a protection of 7.5% import duty. They charge a premium to the Indian consumers over that duty, and they want to sell their products because that brings them optimal profitability. पर मैं ये कहूँगा सर, एक बार के लिए प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी और नेशनल इंटरेस्ट को अलग कर दीजिए तो बात सारी समझ में आ जाएगी सर. और मेरा एक और सवाल है that today we are probably one of the competitive producers in terms of primary for aluminium and zinc. Today we have resources, we are using internal resources, and we are using external resources. We are importing low-grade ores, we are using coal, fossil energy to convert that, to beneficiate that, to sort of make primary metals out of that. Today, how does the Indian industry, the Indian consumer get benefited, given that what we are doing as an activity, if the selling price, the support that you give to the Indian industry is by charging them a LME price with a premium, with that import duty difference. You want an import parity price. So I'm just saying, how does the Indian producer or Indian consumer of metal gets benefited? Anyways, let's look into the future. What does the future look like? Where do we go from here? Now, here is a slide of a motorcycle which is called the V15, produced by Bajaj, manufactured by Bajaj, Hamara Bajaj. And in this picture, you'll see that Mr. Bajaj is gifting this motorcycle to one of the Bollywood prominent personality, Mr. Amir Khan. Now, why I'm showing this here is to tell you that this motorcycle is completely made from scrap. Scrap that came from decommissioning, dismantling of INS Vikrant that was used in producing this motorcycle. So this is the journey forward. Now here, the next 2-3 slides you will see are of a beautiful home from Trivandrum, God's own country. And why am I showing these slides to you is because every material that has been used here, the roof, the walls, the decoratives, are made from recycled materials. Even so, paints are being recycled. Sunil ji honge yahan pe, sir, if you can raise your hand. Hats off to this gentleman. He is America's biggest paint recycler. So thanks for making us proud, sir. कुछ साल पहले जब हम बॉम्बे में निकलते थे तो सारे जगह होर्डिंग्स लगे हुए थे where they have shown a young couple buying a house, on the billboards. And the question that this producer, primary steel producer, put forward in that hoarding was that क्या आप अपने सपनों का घर स्क्रैप से बनाए हुए स्टील से खरीदेंगे? And they put a question mark there. So these 4 slides are answer to that. Yes, हम recycled material से बनाएंगे. सर, ये जो प्रोडक्ट आप देख रहे हैं आपकी स्क्रीन पे, this is from a very premium, luxurious Italian clothing company called Pollen Shark. And they are selling this jacket for about, the retail price is about 80,000 rupees. And you will wonder, why is it being sold for 80,000 rupees? The reason why it is being sold for 80,000 rupees is because it is being made 100% from the scrap, the plastic waste that has been recovered from the oceans. So you can imagine the value that they want a premium for using waste into their products. Now this is my favorite slide. This is from a watch company called MRAI, a very aspirational brand, and they sell this watch between 8 and 9 lakhs of rupees. You would wonder what's so special about this watch. Well, the company says this watch is that expensive because they have used recycled steel and recycled titanium into that watch, and that's why they want to sell it for 8-9 lakh of rupees. And the reason why I say this, it's my favorite slide, is because ये बदलते हुए टाइम को बता रहा है. Mark my words. Winds of change, times for change. So ये बदलते हुए टाइम की शुरुआत कहाँ से होती है? Let's look at that. This is how it all starts. In the end, I'd only say that, you see, as India, we are a very frugal economy. Everything that has value will be extracted and will be converted. I think we have skilled people here to do that, because over the last 2-3 years, there have been very intense discussion of having standards, and while we are in our ambition to grow in terms of Indian manufacturing, we've brought this whole issue of standards to recycling or recyclable materials as well. What I would say is that when we approach this subject, I think we need to have a very holistic approach. Today, just emulating or copying somebody, some random country who did something does not help India as far as standards is concerned. What we need to understand is what India needs, how it benefits most from the resources that we have, the skilled people that we have, because standards are necessary, but standards are necessary for finished products. As far as recycling is concerned, the vibrancy of this, the economics of this, the environmental benefits of this comes from the fact that today we as recyclers are able to effectively handle mixed scraps, sort them, segregate them. So keep that basic theme in mind while you make those standards. अभी हाल ही में एक मूवी आई थी, पिक्चर RRR, जिसने सारे रिकॉर्ड तोड़ दिए, 1000 करोड़ का बिजनेस किया. ये हमारे RRR है जो मोदी साहब ने बताए, जो संजय भाई ने भी अपनी स्पीच में बात करी, जो हज़ारों करोड़ों ज़िंदगी को रोज़ पॉजिटिवली इम्पैक्ट करते पर ज़्यादा चर्चे नहीं होते, तो उसके कोई शिकवे भी नहीं है हमें. बट जाते जाते सिर्फ एक ही बात कहूँगा कि ये जो हमारा संकल्प है, दिस कमिटमेंट दैट वी हैव गिवन, लेट्स नॉट फॉरगेट दैट. Because, as I said, we need to change the perception that how people look at us. And by 2030, let's make ourselves a global hub for materials recycling. Let's commit this to ourselves. It will happen. As MRAI, we see this, it's a clear vision, and we will move in that direction. So jate jate, thank you so much. Thanks for listening, and proud to be a recycler.
Thank you very much, Dhawal.